And obviously we don't know
No idea.
the French market, but
No idea.
here in the States, we're seeing across the board a huge shortage of inventory. We were already getting into an inventory shortage in most markets before this happened. Since this happened, you've seen a lot of people put their selling goals on pause, which has created this inventory shortage. And so I actually think demand is going to continue to build because of this inventory shortage, because buyers are going to keep waiting for better inventory to come onto the market. When good inventory here locally, and you can chime in the comments what's happening in your market, but here locally, what we're seeing is when a good, well-priced home that had pride of ownership, that's fairly updated or just clean and functional comes on the market, we're actually still seeing multiple offers during this crisis locally. I know that's not the case in New York City. They're on a lockdown similar to what France went through, where really nothing is happening at all. But in fairness, New York City, and I think they referenced that in this article or maybe another article I was reading, but there's a lot of information you get on New York City's real estate market. Their market was down before this happened. There was already a glut of inventory because developers went crazy during the last few years when they saw prices continue to rise. So New York was already feeling pain before this. Now, of course, they're feeling tons of pain being in the middle of this crisis.
I think what will also help, though, with that influx is obviously during all of this, lending was tightened. So there was actually quite a bit of people that were originally in the market to buy that then got excluded or were so close to buying and then they couldn't because, those products weren't even being offered anymore. So I think that once this is over, if the banks do lighten up again with their lending, all of those people that were immediately excluded from actually being able to buy will obviously then immediately be able to purchase again. And I'm certain that those that were already sort of gearing up and already looking at properties are 100% going to be hopping right back in, excited to be part of like the buying process again. So it'll be interesting to see.
And I'm just speaking for myself. I know personally, as our government officials and the health officials, the experts, start to allow us to ease up on some of our restrictions, to ease up on this shelter in place and allow us to get back to work. I know for me personally that my confidence is going to go through the roof, that my excitement and energy just about life is going to go up. They're seeing that in France. You're starting to see certain states get back to work here in America. And if we can pull that off, and I encourage everybody as this starts to happen to take every safety precaution into a measure that they possibly can. But as we start to do this, I do believe the industries like real estate that, remember, we're not in a housing crisis. Real estate was very strong before this happened, are going to be able to pick up and take off, because there are a lot of people out there, like this gentleman from France said, from Coldwell Banker, either don't like their house, have a need to move, have a desire to downsize, have a desire to move into that retirement home. A lot of millennials have been renting for years and want to finally own. There are still a lot of people, despite the banks making it harder for people to basically get a loan. Despite all of that, there are still a lot of people that want to engage in real estate. And that to me is encouraging and exciting for all of us.
Yeah, I think a lot of it also has to do with just appreciation though too. I mean, again, my son feels like his life is sort of not having a point where at the end of all of this, like if anything, you just start appreciating the fact that you do have the ability to buy, or, you're working this hard now. You deserve, you feel like you deserve the house, or again, to sort of just be active again. So again, I think there's going to be so many different variables working into it that it's certainly going to be an exciting time, and it won't be cold anymore here in the Northeast. So it'll be nice to get out in the sun.
It is hard to, you think about it, and I saw some, like, as this stuff kind of broke out, it's like, how hard can it be? They're just asking you, this is 4 or 5 weeks ago, they're just asking you to sit on your couch at home. I don't know about you guys watching, definitely tell me how you feel in the comments. It's hard to stay at home 99% of your time. It is mentally taxing. Certainly in this country, in America, we are built here in America to work. The life that we all have isn't set up to take 18 months off and wait for a vaccine. It's actually impossible from a mental health standpoint to take 18 months of life off, and certainly from an economical standpoint. So I'm excited and I look forward to us getting some of these restrictions loosened up while we continue to take different health precautions and safety precautions. And listen, life is changing forever, but I'm excited about the next chapter, the next steps that we're all going to be taking together as we start to come out of this.